Welcome back to my channel. Today we will learn about the issue that has completely shaken the foundations of trust, love, and redemption on CBS's The Bold and the Beautiful. In a shocking twist that fans never saw coming, Ridge Forrester discovers that the woman he has so tenderly cared for, Taylor Hayes, has orchestrated one of the most manipulative lies in recent memory. What began as compassion and loyalty has spiraled into betrayal and heartbreak, altering the course of multiple lives in devastating and dramatic ways. For weeks, Ridge had been by Taylor's side after she was diagnosed with Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, often referred to as broken heart syndrome. The rare and serious condition can mimic the symptoms of a heart attack and is typically triggered by extreme emotional or physical stress. Doctors advised that Taylor avoid all forms of emotional distress, which meant that Ridge had to take extra care in keeping her calm and at peace. Ridge, out of love and duty, rearranged his schedule, minimized professional obligations, and became Taylor's primary support system. He cooked for her, read to her, took her on quiet nature walks, and protected her from any drama, especially involving Brooke. Taylor seemed grateful for Ridge's commitment, often telling him how much his presence was helping her heal. But behind her gratitude was a secret so egregious that, when it was uncovered, it would destroy everything they had been rebuilding. During one routine visit to the hospital, Ridge arrived early and waited in the corridor outside Taylor's consultation room. What he overheard changed everything. Inside, Taylor was speaking with her doctor, Grace. Ridge stood frozen as Taylor whispered about the arrangement she had made, the lie that had pulled Ridge closer to her. Taylor thanked Grace for keeping up the story, reiterating that the payment had been transferred. Grace replied that everything was under control and that she would continue to follow the script as long as Taylor needed her to. Ridge's heart dropped. He realized, in that one moment, that the illness Taylor had used to draw him close was fabricated. Rage surged through him. He stepped into the room unannounced, his face twisted with betrayal. "How could you?" Ridge barked. "You lied to me, both of you." Taylor gasped, her face turning pale. "Ridge, wait, let me explain." "Explain what?" Ridge snapped. "That you faked a life-threatening illness to get me to stay? That you paid a doctor to lie about your condition?" Dr. Grace tried to intervene, but Ridge's fury was unstoppable. "You should lose your license for this," he said coldly. "And I'll make sure you do." Grace stood in stunned silence, realizing that her entire career was now at risk. Ridge didn't waste another word on her. He turned to Taylor, the pain in his voice louder than the anger. "I stayed with you because I thought you needed me," he said. "I gave you everything I had, my time, my care, my trust, and you manipulated me." Taylor was sobbing now. "Ridge, I wanted us to work. I thought if I had more time with you, you'd see what we have." "What we had," Ridge interrupted. "That's gone." No amount of pleading, no tearful apologies, no desperate explanations could undo the damage. Ridge walked out of the hospital and out of Taylor's life. Back at home, Ridge was emotionally wrecked. The betrayal cut deeper than he expected. He couldn't sleep, couldn't focus, and found himself questioning everything, his judgment, his decisions, and the sincerity of those around him. Out of instinct, he called Brooke. Brooke, surprised but not unwelcome to the call, invited him over. Ridge didn't go into detail at first, but Brooke could see the pain written across his face. When he finally told her everything, Taylor's fake diagnosis, the payoff to the doctor, the betrayal, Brooke was horrified. "I can't believe she would go that far," Brooke said softly. "I'm so sorry, Ridge. You didn't deserve that." Brooke's empathy wrapped around Ridge like a blanket. She didn't judge, didn't try to exploit the moment. She just listened. And when Ridge broke down, she was there. They sat in silence for a while, a familiar and comforting silence, until one moment of vulnerability turned into something else. Their eyes met, the air thick with unspoken words. Ridge leaned in. Brooke didn't pull away. What began as a kiss quickly reignited years of buried passion. They made love, not out of revenge or impulse, but out of the connection that never truly died between them. The morning after, there were no regrets, just quiet acceptance. Ridge and Brooke knew what this meant. The pain of the past wasn't erased, but something between them had been restored. They agreed to try again. To start fresh. To rebuild not just for themselves but for their family. News of Ridge and Brooke's reunion spread fast, and eventually it reached Taylor. The pain of losing Ridge was one thing. But hearing that he had gone back to Brooke, so soon, so decisively, was another blow altogether. She was heartbroken, ashamed, and completely alone. The very lie she had used to keep Ridge close had cost her everything. Unable to face the shame, Taylor made a decision. She would leave Los Angeles. She would return to South Africa and resume her work as a volunteer doctor. It was the one place she felt useful, where she could escape the whispers and the pity. Before she left, she visited Steffi and Thomas to say goodbye. Both were shocked and saddened by her decision, but they understood. Their mother needed space, a new beginning, and time to forgive herself. She hugged her children tightly, promised to stay in touch, and left quietly, just as Ridge and Brooke began the next chapter of their lives. Meanwhile, Ridge filed a formal complaint against Dr. Grace. The investigation began swiftly. With Taylor's confession and Ridge's testimony, it wasn't long before Grace's license was suspended pending a full review. For Ridge, it wasn't about revenge, it was about accountability. Ridge and Brooke began spending more time together, rebuilding trust slowly. Hope and RJ were supportive. Even Eric, who had always favored Brooke, gave his blessing. The Forrester family, rocked once again by scandal and drama, began to stabilize. But as always in the bold and the beautiful, peace never lasts forever. Taylor's absence left a void, and secrets have a way of coming back when least expected. Next, we will explore a hot topic buzzing among the bold and the beautiful fans as we dive into the glaring lack of chemistry between Carter Walton and Hope Logan, a pairing that has left viewers scratching their heads and flooding social media with passionate opinions. Despite Carter's undeniable charm and striking good looks, something feels amiss when he shares the screen with Hope, sparking debates about whether the show's writers are pushing a romance that simply doesn't resonate. Let's unpack this intriguing issue with fresh insights, delve into fan reactions, and imagine potential paths the storyline could take to reignite the spark in this fictional Los Angeles saga. The chemistry conundrum, Carter and Hope's disconnect. In the glamorous world of the bold and the beautiful, Carter Walton stands out as one of the most captivating figures in this bustling, fictional rendition of Los Angeles. With his chiseled features, confident demeanor, and a smile that could melt hearts, he's often been the epitome of charisma at Forrester Creations. Yet, despite these attributes, there's a palpable void when he interacts with Hope Logan, the compassionate and driven leading lady whose storylines often tug at viewers' heartstrings. Their scenes together, whether set in the sleek design offices or the cozy Logan family living room filled with warm memories, frequently feel stilted, as if an invisible barrier prevents their emotions from truly connecting. It's as though the air between them lacks the electric charge that defines a compelling on-screen romance, leaving audiences yearning for something more authentic. Fans have been quick to notice this mismatch, often pointing out that Carter's interactions with Hope seem to lack the depth and passion that one might expect from a budding love story. Some speculate that Carter's heart might not be fully invested, perhaps still lingering on past relationships or professional ambitions like his recent push to expand Forrester's legal outreach that distract him from giving Hope his undivided attention. Imagine a scene where Carter, while discussing a new fashion line with Hope, lets his gaze drift to a framed photo of a past love on his desk, a subtle hint of unresolved feelings the writers could explore. Others wonder if the scripts themselves are to blame, forcing a pairing that clashes with the characters' natural trajectories, such as Hope's lingering emotional ties to Liam Spencer or her focus on raising Beth amidst family chaos. This disconnect isn't just a minor hiccup, it's a growing concern that threatens to derail the momentum of their storyline. Fan voices, a storm of opinions on social media. The online Bold and the Beautiful community has erupted with commentary about Carter and Hope's lackluster dynamic, turning platforms like Twitter and Instagram into virtual town halls for spirited debate. One fan passionately shared, "I can't help but cringe during their scenes. Honestly, I always thought Hope had such a magnetic pull with Finn. There was real tension there. I know Steffi's in the picture, but part of me still roots for that forbidden spark, even if it makes me a bit resentful of Steffi's hold on him." This opinion reflects a longing for alternative pairings that might better showcase Hope's emotional range, perhaps recalling stolen glances between Hope and Finn during tense family gatherings at the Cliff House, where unspoken attraction simmered beneath the surface. Another viewer didn't hold back, posting, "Carter, you're stunning to look at, but let's be real, stick to being the show's eye candy. Your acting feels flat, and there's absolutely no chemistry with Hope. I'm dreaming of Wyatt returning for Liam's funeral plotline. Picture it, Wyatt and Hope, grieving together, rekindling old flames over shared tears and memories at a quiet seaside memorial. That's the romance I want to see." This suggestion conjures vivid imagery of a poignant reunion, with Wyatt's rugged charm contrasting Hope's gentle sorrow as they walk along the beach, reminiscing about Liam's quirky habits like his love for spontaneous road trips, reigniting a love story rooted in shared history. A third comment offered a broader critique, stating, "This issue isn't unique to Carter and Hope. It's a general rule in soaps that side characters shouldn't overshadow leads. I don't think Annika Noel, Hope, is a bad actress. Her performance in the all-female episode was breathtaking, showing raw vulnerability. But around Carter, she seems restrained, like she can't fully unleash her talent. It's rare to see her shine in these scenes now." This perspective highlights a perceived mismatch in acting dynamics, perhaps imagining a behind-the-scenes moment where Annika struggles to find emotional footing in a script that pairs Hope with Carter during a lukewarm dinner date at Il Giardino, lacking the fiery banter or tender silences that could elevate their bond. The verdict, a romance that falls flat. It's abundantly clear from the fan feedback and on-screen evidence that the Carter-Hope pairing is failing to capture the magic that the Bold and the Beautiful is known for. The writer's attempt to craft a romance between these two feels forced, akin to trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, leaving viewers more frustrated than enamored. The subtle nuances of body language, Carter's stiff posture during a supposedly intimate conversation, or Hope's distracted glances as if searching for something or someone beyond the frame, only amplify the sense that their hearts aren't aligned. This isn't just a minor misstep, it's a storyline that risks alienating fans who crave authentic emotional stakes, whether through heated arguments or soulful confessions under the twinkling lights of a Forrester gala. One can't help but imagine alternative scenarios that might breathe life into their arcs separately. For Carter, perhaps a new love interest could emerge, a mysterious lawyer from a rival firm who challenges him both professionally and personally, their debates over a high-stakes case at a downtown LA courtroom spilling into late-night strategy sessions charged with unspoken attraction. For Hope, a solo journey of self-discovery could take center stage, maybe a retreat to a quaint coastal town where she sketches designs inspired by the ocean, reflecting on her past loves while meeting a local artist whose free spirit reawakens her sense of adventure. These invented paths could offer the writers a chance to pivot away from a romance that simply isn't clicking, allowing both characters to shine in narratives tailored to their strengths. Looking ahead. What's next for Carter and Hope? As the discourse around Carter and Hope's lack of chemistry continues to dominate fan conversations, the big question remains, will the writers of The Bold and the Beautiful heed the audience's call to rethink this pairing? The fans have spoken loud and clear, urging a shift in direction to pairings or storylines that resonate more deeply, whether that's revisiting past loves like Wyatt for Hope or introducing fresh faces to challenge Carter's status quo. Picture a dramatic twist where Hope, after a heartfelt conversation with Brooke over vintage family albums, decides to focus solely on her role as a mother and designer, temporarily shelving romance to rediscover her own passions, perhaps launching a sustainable fashion line inspired by her daughter Beth's love for nature. For Carter, the future could hold a surprising alliance with a character like Ridge Forrester, delving into a mentorship storyline where Ridge guides him through a personal crisis, their late-night talks over whiskey at the Forrester mansion revealing Carter's vulnerabilities and past heartbreaks, forging a bond that redefines his place in the family. These potential turns offer a canvas for emotional depth that the current Carter-Hope dynamic lacks, promising viewers the kind of storytelling that keeps them glued to their screens day after day. Next, we will embark on an in-depth exploration of the endlessly captivating yet often exasperating love story of Brooke Logan and Ridge Forrester on The Bold and the Beautiful. This iconic pairing has been the heartbeat of the show since its debut, weaving a tapestry of passion, betrayal, and unrelenting hope that has kept viewers hooked for over 3 decades. If you've tuned in even sporadically, you've undoubtedly caught Brooke's repetitive mantra about Ridge being her destiny, a word so overused it could practically be trademarked. In this extended dive, we'll unpack the layers of Brooke's unwavering devotion, delve into the complexities of her character with fresh insights, and even sprinkle in some speculative twists, including the return of a familiar face who might just shake up this legendary romance. So, grab a cozy seat and let's dissect this soap opera masterpiece with all the drama and detail it deserves. Let's kick things off by confronting the undeniable truth. Brooke Logan's insistence that Ridge Forrester is her destined soulmate has become the stuff of daytime legend. Imagine if we turned this into a light-hearted viewing game, sipping a mocktail every time Brooke breathes the word destiny in connection to Ridge. We'd be blissfully tipsy before the first commercial break. Catherine Kelly Lang, the brilliant actress who has embodied Brooke since the soap's premiere in 1987, recently opened up about this repetitive narrative during a heartfelt discussion on Bold Live. With a knowing chuckle, she admitted that Brooke's relentless focus on this singular idea can sometimes feel like a needle stuck on a vinyl record, playing the same tired note over and over. Yet, Lang offered a poignant defense of her character's mindset. She suggested that this belief in destiny isn't just a whimsical fantasy for Brooke, it's the very foundation of her emotional world. Without this guiding star, where would Brooke turn amidst the chaos of her life? Lang's perspective paints Brooke not as a parody of obsession, but as a woman clinging to a profound, if sometimes misguided, conviction that has defined her journey through love and loss. To fully appreciate the depth of Brooke's steadfast faith in her connection with Ridge, we must look beyond the surface of her oft-repeated lines. Her belief in destiny is more than a scriptwriter's crutch, it's a psychological armor she dons against the relentless storms of rejection and heartbreak. Picture a quiet evening in the opulent Logan mansion, where Brooke stands alone by a grand window, the Los Angeles skyline glittering in the distance. A gentle rain taps against the glass as she recalls yet another painful moment when Ridge turned his back on her, perhaps over a fleeting misunderstanding, Like the time he misjudged her acceptance of the CEO position at Forrester Creations as a power grab rather than a strategic move. Even in this solitude, with mascara streaking down her cheeks, Brooke murmurs to herself, "He's my destiny. He'll come back." It's a scene that encapsulates both her vulnerability and her obstinance. Fans have watched Ridge pivot to Taylor Hayes time and again, often on the flimsiest of pretexts, be it a symbolic pinecone falling during a heated argument or a rushed reconciliation fueled by nostalgia rather than logic. Yet, Brooke's vision remains tunnel-like, fixated on a future where Ridge is hers alone. This isn't just blind hope, it's a near-mythical persistence that has fueled some of the most dramatic arcs in soap history. Now, let's add a layer of analysis to Brooke's character by exploring why this destiny narrative resonates so deeply, not just with her, but with the audience. Brooke Logan isn't merely a lovesick ingenue, she's a woman who has battled societal judgment, family feuds, and personal insecurities to carve out her place in the cutthroat world of fashion and romance. Consider her early years, when she was often dismissed as the girl from the wrong side of the tracks, fighting to prove her worth in the elite circles of the Forrester dynasty. Ridge represented not just love, but validation, a symbol of a life she dreamed of attaining. Each rejection, then, isn't just personal, it's a blow to the very identity she's built. When Ridge walks away, whether it's to Taylor or into the arms of a fleeting fling, Brooke isn't just losing a partner, she's losing a piece of the fairy tale she scripted for herself. Her mantra of destiny becomes a lifeline, a way to reassure herself that the story isn't over, that every chapter, no matter how dark, is just a prelude to a happily ever after. This perspective adds a tragic richness to her character, transforming her from a caricature of obsession into a figure of almost Shakespearean longing. Moreover, we can't ignore the sheer longevity of the Bridge saga. Brooke and Ridge's on-again, off-again romance has been the engine driving the bold and the beautiful for generations of viewers. Through multiple actors portraying Ridge, originally Ron Moss, now Torsten K. and a revolving door of Taylors, from Hunter Tylo to Krista Allen and beyond, not to mention a dizzying tally of weddings, divorces, and reconciliations, their story has transcended mere plot to become a cultural touchstone.